Dude, I fell in love with this town. I want to live there.
Oh shit. Okay.
If it wasn't for the fact that it probably freezes there at least 3 months of the year, I'd probably move there.
Wow. Okay.
That plus, plus the benefits of living in Nevada is they don't have state tax.
Yeah.
Not having a state tax, wages are probably lower, and I probably couldn't get as good a paying job.
Well, see, that's the thing. Yeah. Everything's relative. So,
Yeah.
You go in there and you go, okay, well, I don't have to. One of the reasons why people here are looking at $15 an hour is not because, for no other reason, the fact that that it's so expensive here, that's what they want to do. So they can take more money from you. I hate to say it, but the fact is the reason the cost of living is so expensive here is because of taxation and fees and all this kind of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know about other states, and I'm just going to run through this real quick. I don't know about other states, but in this state, we actually have taxes on food. They actually tax your food. You have to pay for the privilege of eating. It's freaking ridiculous. And they have a fast food tax. And the stupid thing is that in some of those, I can't remember which is which, but there's hot food and cold food. And one of them gets taxed if you eat there, but it doesn't get taxed if you take it out. And the other one gets taxed if you take it out, but not if you eat there. So what you should do is figure out which you get taxed for and then do the opposite. So if you get taxed for uncooked food, and if you take it to go, and you get taxed for cooked food if you eat it there, then what you do is you order it accordingly so that you don't get taxed. And then you just eat it there because they're not going to beat you up. But, yeah, they actually tax you for frickin' food. It's frickin' nuts. And, of course, we have the highest gas taxes. And if anybody who doesn't know that, our gas is just broke $4, and it's headed towards $5. It's freaking nuts. And that's for gas that was made 6 months ago. That's the crazy part. That's crazy. People, okay. So the Houthi rebels, which we don't believe that that's true, the Houthi rebels attacked the Saudi Arabians, and so now our gas gets spiked. Okay, the problem is the gas that we're using right now was made 6 months ago, so we shouldn't see that spike for another 6 months.
And by the way, we shouldn't see a spike at all because the United States hasn't even been using Saudi oil anymore.
Yeah, I know. That's the weird part, too. What people don't know is that everybody thinks that we get a huge amount of our oil from the Middle East, but we don't. In fact, we get almost all of our oil domestically, and our number one oil importer is Canada and Venezuela, not the Middle East. It's stupid because you know how much it costs to run a freaking tanker ship across the freaking half the world to get it here? It's stupid. It doesn't even make any sense. But everybody thinks we get our gas and oil from the Middle East. We don't. We get it from Venezuela, Mexico, and Canada, and ourselves. Most of our petroleum comes from us. It's stupid. And it's like, you know what it's like is it's like I hate the Fuji film freezer, but that's what it's like. People think one reality, and guess what? It's not. It's not that way. We don't get our oil and our gas from the Middle East. So when the when the guys in the Middle East are beating the shit out of each other, that's got nothing to do with us. That's not our problem. All right. Now, I mean, I'm sure that, maybe some of the countries that we buy other products from, like durable goods or foods or different things like that, they may be affected by a problem in the Middle East as far as oil production goes. Sure. Okay, but not our gas. So in our gas, the only thing I can think of is that one is it's a straight hoax and they're just screwing us. Or what they're doing is they're going, well, we could just sell our gas and oil. This is domestic gas and oil. We could just sell our gas and oil to another country for more money. And since we're selling it to the United States, let's screw them for what we could make if we were selling it to China. Let's do that. Which is basically price gouging. It's a criminal offense. And of course we know that most of the politicians are paid off by that amount, by petroleum, because the amount of money is so huge. Petroleum and big pharma, big pharmacy, for those who don't know what that means. Big pharma, petroleum and big pharma, and tobacco. Tobacco not so much anymore because basically, I mean, when I was a kid, a pack of cigarettes was $1, and now it's like freaking $6-8. It's nuts. It makes no sense. But so tobacco really doesn't make enough of a profit because they get taxed the shit on so much. So they don't make that much of a profit to have enough money to buy people, but they used to be able to do that. And so those three industries basically can control the political parties because they have so much money. I believe that the reason why nobody does anything about the fact that they're spiking our gas prices now for fuel that was made 6 months ago, I think it has to do with money because there's no other reason for it. It's a criminal offense. What it is, it's extortion. It's, hey, you want this? Okay, you're going to pay this. It's not worth that. Okay, yeah, but yeah, it's not.
They're manipulating markets.
Yeah, it's speculation. Back when,
in fact, this happened during the George Bush Jr.'s thing. Is we had gas go up to almost $5 a gallon, and all it was about speculation and finally, what's the organization that oversees the markets?
The Security Exchange Commission. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. They went in and told them what they were doing was illegal, and basically gas prices plummeted $2 a gallon, almost overnight.
Almost overnight. Yeah. Well, because it is illegal. Yeah.
And it's no different than what they did with selling subprime loans, back in 2007.
That's criminal. It was
the
subprime
criminal.
loans.
Yeah. And one person went to jail.
Yeah, and then they made us bail them out.
They
What
screwed
the fuck was that about?
market. They screwed the entire market. They screwed the American people. One person went to jail.
Yeah, and they made us, and the government volunteered our money to pay them to bail them out.
Yep.
I think it goes, yeah, there was a guy. I was listening. It wasn't Alex Jones, but it was along that lines, and they were talking about the subprime thing, and there was this guy, he's some pastor but he's real radical. And he said that when you're talking about these people, do not, I constantly hear people say, oh, these guys are stupid. How could they do something so stupid? And this guy says, they're not stupid.
Nope.
He goes, no, not at all. They're brilliant. And he says, if you want to call them stupid, guess what? You're stupid because you can't see the most obvious thing. And the host goes, yeah. He goes, those people are brilliant. He goes, the last guy I know who stole $1 billion and didn't go to prison was a genius. I go, yeah, that's exactly true. Those people, yeah. And this whole thing about too big to fail, screw that. There's no such thing as too big to fail.
Not as far as I'm concerned.
No. Believe me, there was a time when they weren't here, and there'll be a time when they're not here now. So they should have just let it collapse. Instead, we're almost as bad off as we were then.
I'm a total believer in the free market economy. That let the market sort itself out.
Yeah.
Those companies wouldn't have failed. Somebody would have come in and bought them for pennies on a dollar and started to rebuild them.
For the rest, they were around as long as I knew. They were around for friggin' ever. They close up. What happened? Somebody bought them up. Bought up the name. Bob's Big Boy. At the time when we were kids, that was one of the greatest restaurants you could go to. You go there, everything was reasonably priced. They had a cool ecosystem there. They had Bob. They had his girlfriend. I can't remember her name. They had Pappy Parker. They had all this great stuff. They had all this huge amount of marketing. It was brilliant. And then they closed up. However, somebody bought up the license for the merch. And then they opened them up. But see, the thing is a restaurant is just a restaurant. You can make anything there. It was having that name, Big Boy, and having those icons and those logos and that merch. That was the thing. Once you had that license, You could damn near open a Carl's Jr., slap the Bob Big Boy merch on it, and it's a Bob's Big Boy. And even though you're just making fries and Cokes and stuff like that, it doesn't matter. So that's what would happen with all those companies. They would have collapsed, got bought up, and then reopened. Now it would have been difficult. The economy would have taken a serious hit, and the globe. But that's the thing, because of globalism. Our government's dirty anyway, but they think that they owe other countries things, and they don't. They owe the American people service. But what they're doing is they're going, oh well, if this happens, it'll send ripples through the globe, okay, and then let the globe figure it out. That's the reason why we don't make anything here. That's the reason why this country. Here's the thing, and I heard this on a podcast too, and it makes total sense. Manufacturing countries have power. Service countries, they have no power. If you go to Monaco, they don't make anything there. All they do is sit around drinking and playing baccarat.
Right.
So what power do they have? Oh, what are you're gonna take my freaking martini? What the fuck? What? You have no power. You're nobody. Okay?
Right.
You want some food? That's power. You want a car? That's power. You need an airplane so you can move your goods? That's power. You need weapons so you can defend yourself against a country that likes the look of your land and wants to take it? That's power. That's why Boeing and all those other companies that make those weapons have that kind of power, because in all honesty, when I was in the Army, there was exactly two companies that we dealt with: Raytheon and Boeing, and that was it. Those Colt, and that was it. Oh no, we did pick up a couple of odd companies that were making 9mm, like some experimental stuff. But that's why we have countries like Saudi Arabia, which is an enemy of the United States. Don't anybody try to bullshit me. Saudi Arabia is an enemy of the United States. 9/11, those people were Saudi. Those people were not Iraqi. Right. So we still don't know why people were fighting in Iraq. Those people, every single person on those planes, every single terrorist that was on those planes was Saudi. But they decided, oh, I got an idea. Let's attack Iraq. Has absolutely nothing to do with 9/11, but we won't even go into that. That's why Saudi is flying F-15s. F-15s. Freaking nuts. That's because the United States, you want weapons, you get it from the United States. I mean, you can get, Britain makes some stuff, France makes some stuff, and China probably makes their own stuff, and the Russians probably make some stuff, but you're not going to the Russians. Yeah. You're not going to the Russians going shopping. That don't happen. Yeah. Yeah. The only time you get Russian weapons is if you are, either in the Warsaw Bloc, if that even still exists. I don't even know if that even still exists. The only time you're getting weapons from Russia is if you're in the Warsaw Bloc or if they want something from you. So that's why the Syrians get those weapons, is not because the Russians are looking out for the underdog. No, the Russians want a foothold in the Middle East. Yeah. That's why. Yeah. Now I forgot what the hell we were even talking about.
Rabbit holes.
Rabbit holes. Yeah, that was one.
that was a big one.
God, there was something I did want to say about it just happened too. Oh, I know. Okay. This is about film photography, and I don't want to constantly be, beaten down to the film photographers, but I was just thinking about this the other day. Actually, I was thinking about this, a couple months ago when my good buddy, Mike Gutterman, one of the proponents of the Great Fuji Film Freezer, he starts talking about, one of his guests says, if you put a piece of steel wool at the bottom of your rinse bucket, it will, the silver that comes off in the I'm not sure which component it is that the silver comes off in, but you put that in the bottom of a bucket, and the silver will adhere to the still wool, and then you can get rid of the still wool as hazardous waste. Okay,